You said I was crazy.
Please give me Titanfall 3.
You said Titanfall 3 wasn't coming.
Titanfall 3 is coming.
You said I was off my meds. You said, actually, a lot of you said you also think Respawn is working on Titanfall 3. And you were right.
Capture the arc before you leave the airbase. Marauder Corps, weapons hot. Stand by for Titanfall.
Titanfall 3 is actually coming. This isn't a drill, guys. It is real life. We all might actually live to see the prophecy come true. Okay, to be fair, I'm only 99% certain this game is getting announced soon, so there's still like a 1% chance it's getting announced later, but I am 100% certain this game is going to be made. In my last video about Titanfall, I said,
I'm about to pull Shane Dawson and make a 2-hour 3-part series about if EA has the cognitive ability to make a game people actually want.
And after some digging while feeding into my inner Shane Dawson without the love of cats, racism, or low-key pedophilia, it seems like EA might have finally got a passing grade on their IQ test. There are mountains of evidence that not only is Titanfall 3 in development, but it's going to be revealed very soon. In the most recent Apex Legends update, Respawn tried to be a little slick and threw a cryptic message at the bottom of the patch notes. And believe it or not, there's actually people who read to the bottom of the patch notes.
You gotta be kidding me.
And among this small group of people lies a messiah who went out of their way to decrypt said message. This message reads,
"Incoming transmission, subject Nessie."
Followed by what looks like a series of random numbers, but these numbers are actually Unix time codes, whatever the fuck those are, for the release dates of Titanfall 1 and 2 and for Apex Legends. But why would Respawn try to bring attention to the release dates of these games all set in the Titanfall universe? Well, probably to insinuate there's about to be another one. 3 release dates, Titanfall 3, this can't be a coincidence. Okay, in all seriousness, on top of that, after years of neglect, Titanfall 2 randomly got a series of big updates. The game was actually unplayable for about a year or two. You couldn't log onto the servers to save your damn life, and if by some miracle of God you did, you were instantly IP logged, DDoS, bent over, and fucked. Not only was the game finally made playable, but it also got new content. After 7 years, Private Match is finally out of beta, guys. Let's go! Oh, and the featured game mode was updated a few times. Now, this doesn't seem super important until you look a bit further into it. This new featured game mode is called ? 3 question marks. But the interesting thing is the description for this game mode is a reference to the movie 300. Whole lot of threes you got there. Now, that alone would be enough to convince people Titanfall 3 is coming, but this is where I was finally like, dang, this is actually gonna happen. After all of those teasers, the official Titanfall YouTube channel, after 6 years of not posting anything, just posted 3 unlisted videos. This means we now have actual confirmation that something is coming from Titanfall. That, combined with all of these teasers and the huge resurgence in popularity, leaves basically no doubt in my mind that Titanfall 3 is not only being worked on, but it's coming very soon. How soon? Well, going back to the Titanfall 2 update where Respawn referenced the movie 300, the 300th day of the year is October 27th. That also happens to be the day before Titanfall 2's 7-year anniversary. So a lot of the community is speculating Titanfall 3 is going to be revealed on the 27th or 28th of October. But wait, we aren't done. Right after all this brand new evidence and all the hype around Titanfall 3, Respawn CEO Vince Zampella liked an article on Twitter? Claiming Titanfall deserves one more chance. Interesting. Back in April, I talked about an interview Vince had where he was asked directly if Titanfall 3 is coming, and his cryptic ass response was,
"It's a hard question to answer, but ultimately I would love to see something."
You gonna make me kill myself.
Like, dude, I'm not one to get into conspiracy theories or any of that nonsense, but there is just simply no way this is all a coincidence. It would have to be the fumble of the century for this to just be some promotion for more Titanfall skins in Apex or a new mobile game or some dumb shit like that. If that's the case, this might as well be Apex's suicide note, dude, because the only way to recover from something like this is by committing fucking seppuku. Is Titanfall 3 coming? Many people were convinced it would never happen because not too long ago, an ex-developer at Respawn confirmed in an interview that the game was in fact canceled after nearly a year of development to focus on Apex. But what people don't realize is that Titanfall 3 wasn't fully canceled. Respawn didn't stop working on Titanfall because they didn't want to make it or they ran out of ideas or anything like that. It was canceled mostly due to a lack of resources. Respawn was experimenting with other games at the time, and the Battle Royale genre was huge, so they found an opportunity and capitalized on it by shifting their focus. Judging by Apex's success, it was honestly a smart move on their part. A few years later, the market has finally shifted away from battle royales, and Respawn now has way more resources than they did before. They weren't bought out by EA until December 1st, 2017, over a year after Titanfall 2 was released. So until that point, Respawn was just an independent company with limited resources. They didn't have the ability to work on multiple games at once. But now, they have a team of over 315 people. You wanna know how many people they had working when developing Titanfall 2? 90! They have over 3 times as many developers as they did in 2017.
Whoa, that's a genuinely shocking fact.
So why is this important? Well, Respawn now has 3 development studios around the world. One studio is working on Apex Legends. Another one is working on Star Wars games. Still W. And the third one is working on Titanfall 3. No, seriously, they've publicly revealed that they were in fact developing a Titanfall 2 sequel. It was a single-player game called Titanfall Legends. Wow, that is a creative title. Though that would have been cool, it was unfortunately canceled with no explanation given. Just another piece to the puzzle. EA stated that after this game was canceled, they would find new jobs in the company for the 50 people previously working on the Titanfall 2 sequel. Let me remind you, Titanfall 2 was made by 90 people total, and that third studio has a whole lot more than 40 employees. So add in the 50 from Titanfall Legends, and they're more than capable of working on Titanfall 3 again. Now, Titanfall 3 was worked on for a confirmed total of 10 months. For perspective, Titanfall 2 was in development for 25 months. So, going by those standards, that would mean Titanfall 3 was already 40% done when it was canceled. If 40% of the game already exists, and the single-player campaign was confirmed to be worked on for an undisclosed amount of time, go ahead and add those together, and that would make Titanfall 3 40% more finished than most of the games being released today. The ex-developer who commented on Titanfall 3 also added they already had a few fully completed missions for the campaign back in 2018. All of this progress, combined with Respawn now being over 3 times as large as it was when Titanfall 2 was made, makes it more than obvious they not only have the resources, but now the motivation to finally give us Titanfall 3. Like I said last time, you aren't Valve, you can make a third game. Respawn has shown a commitment to adapting to trends by hopping on the BR wave when making Apex Legends. The next trend for them to follow would be in the wake of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3! With all the hype surrounding it, if Respawn was smart, they would just copy COD's formula but do it better like they have in the past. COD currently has 3 separate games all on one launcher with a 4th coming pretty soon, so they've got something for everyone. Just imagine if Respawn followed suit. You could boot up Apex and there's a launcher for Battle Royale, multiplayer, Titanfall 3, or a single player campaign. I swear to you, if they did this, I would have 0 reason to boot up any other game. You want to chill or enjoy an awesome story? Just hop into single player. Want to experience the best multiplayer PvP to ever grace the face of the earth? Just boot up Titanfall 3. And if you're into masochism or just enjoy suffering in general, 1 or 2 of you could even hop into Battle Royale. Respawn wants Titanfall 3. They've said it before and they'll say it again, but it's almost like someone is preventing them from doing it. You probably could have guessed, but EA likely had Titanfall 3 locked in the dungeon for a while because they claimed Titanfall 2 underperformed. But you have to be a genuine lobotomite, like prescribed pure copium for breakfast, lunch, and dinner to not realize it's literally EA's fault the game underperformed. No one else's. Okay, listen to this and tell me I'm not crazy. So Titanfall 2 was released on October 28th, 2016, right? And why does this matter? Well, it's because that is 1 week after the launch of Battlefield 1, which many consider to be the best Battlefield of all time. It's tied with Battlefield 3 for the most sales in the entire series at 15 million, while Titanfall 2 only sold 4 million because everyone just dropped $60 1 week earlier on a different game. And it gets better, Literally 1 fucking week after Titanfall 2, COD Infinite Warfare was released. Like, oh my god, how fucking dense can you be?
It took you 4 fucking seconds to piss me off again.
Infinite Warfare is probably the worst COD game ever made, and I don't think it's even close, but it still sold almost 14 million copies. They sandwiched the launch of Titanfall 2 between the two most popular FPS franchises of all time. And then they bitched and moaned about how it underperformed. Like, dude, you don't have to be Elon Musk to figure out why Titanfall 2 underperformed. The lack of cognitive ability on the EA marketing team or whoever the fuck decides these release dates is genuinely infuriating. But we gotta move on because I'm gonna fucking lose it if I keep talking about this. EA, Respawn, I need you to listen to me. For once in your existence, will you please listen to your player base? I am begging you. Making Titanfall 3 is such an obvious move, even Helen Keller could see it coming from a mile away. The community already did the hard part for you. Everyone's hyped for a game that hasn't even been officially announced. The continued support for a 7-year-old game that was neglected for 5 of those years should be enough of a sign that people want this. When your game was unplayable, the community made an entire client just to play it and even improved it for you. Titanfall 2 has been averaging nearly 20,000 concurrent players every day since it was fixed. And that's only on Steam. The only reason those numbers went down in the first place is because you wouldn't listen to your players and fix it. And like I said, the players just fixed it themselves. I have never seen a community as devoted to a game as the Titanfall community. There's nothing but love for this game, and I know Respawn feels the same. So please, from the people who give you all of our money, just announce Titanfall 3 already.
Respawn, I told you what I would do for Titanfall 3. Think you're funny? You think I don't know what you're up to? I know what you're thinking before you do. I am not joking around this time. Make Titanfall 3 or else.
If you enjoyed this video, you should totally check out this other one because the algorithm loves that and that would make Daddy Devskoi very happy. Love you, bye.